So the question of the week is from Dan, and the question is, how do I hit a knockdown shot? A knockdown shot, yeah, good question, because it's usually windy in Southwest Missouri, isn't it?
It is, yeah, windy, and
So,
well, you're going to deal with wind anyway.
Yeah,
anyway
and any conditions. So this is a great shot to hit, not even when it isn't windy, but if you're having a hard time controlling your ball flight.
Yeah, got to hit it under a tree.
Hit it under a tree.
There's
a lot of there's a lot of different scenarios that you can use this shot. So when it comes to hitting a knockdown shot, a lot of it has to do with your ball placement. What I like to teach is first start out with your feet together. So you probably, I don't know if you guys could see this, but what I do is I put the club and the ball in the middle of my stance, feet together, and then I go left, right. So I step the same distance apart with my shoulder width. What I want to do is then move a little bit to the left, I would say a couple balls back of center. And what that'll do is it'll help you get the handle of the club leading the club head. So that's what we always want to do, is keep the handle of the club ahead of the club head to help de-loft the club face. So what that's going to do is create a little bit lower trajectory, and you'll be able to control it in the wind. The next factor that's really important in hitting a knockdown shot is your tempo. What most of our students do is they try to overswing when it's windy because they think they got to swing harder to get the ball to go farther in the wind. It's actually the opposite. What we want to do is swing at no more than probably 65% of what you normally do for your swing. Club up, pick one more club than you usually do. So if you're hitting a 6-iron, you want to hit a 5-iron. Swing in tempo. So what I mean by that is count to yourself. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so at impact, if we pivot correctly, we want to make sure that the handle's leading the club, and then we come through with an abbreviated follow through. Then the third factor that we want to work on is how far back you should take the club. If we take the club back to our normal, which is right around parallel, what happens is we get too much club head speed, and when you have too much club head speed, you produce too much spin on the ball. So what that does is it causes the ball to balloon, which also affects your consistency in ball flight and trajectory. So you're going to hit a higher ball when you have more club head speed. So work on 3/4 swing. So if you imagine the swing being a clock, you want to go 10 on the clock, and make sure you check, because a lot of our students, they think they're going back 3/4 and they're actually taking it back way more than 3/4 to parallel. And what we want to do is make sure that we're controlled and in balance and good tempo. So if you do those things, Dan, I think you're going to be a lot more consistent hitting a knockdown shot. And again, practice this on the driving range when you're working on your game. I think this will really help you with consistency, not only when it's windy out, but when you have to hit under a tree, or if you're struggling and you want to get a little more consistent in your swing. Just shorten it up a little bit and work on that tempo.